Well, hey folks, I'm back. Pretty bright out here. Yeah, up in Pennsylvania. This is really only my second hunt of the year outside of our Ohio trip and our Western Virginia trip with Whispering Wild. If you haven't seen any of that, make sure you go back and check it out. Definitely go check out Will and Tyler on Whispering Wild. A couple great guys. Link here in the description and on the screen. Go check them out on Instagram and YouTube. Make sure you follow on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube. But anyway, this is only the second time I've been out. We got a short hunt in back home in Virginia, and didn't really see much. It was more of a scouting thing than anything. But I was coming up here today to visit my dad. He's having pretty major surgery on Monday, so let's give him a shout out. He watches this stuff. Give him a shout out, wish him luck, and drop some stuff in the comments. So I wanted to come up and say hello and spend some time with them, and then get the evening, sit in here, change some batteries and some of my cameras and whatnot. So it is warm this afternoon. It was like 30 some degrees this morning, and now it's like in the 70s and toasty. But I'm gonna go sit down in the woods. But right now I got some cameras to deal with, swap batteries and all that stuff, and then go get me in a tree. Stay tuned. Well, if you're not familiar with spotted lanternfly, look it up, especially if you're in the East Coast. In Virginia, you're starting to see a problem with them, especially here in Pennsylvania. They're real bad. They're invasive, and you're wrecking havoc in a lot of places, and they are kill on sight. And fortunately, this tree that I have my camera on is covered in them, and I'm killing every single one I can reach. So it is covered in them. They're just everywhere. This is bad. So I'm gonna kill as many as I can, but look them up, check them out. Now, that's a big old scrape right there, buddy. See all the ends nipped off. Well, they're stopping there when you come around the corner here. Tearing those up. Goes right along the edge of the woods here. Trail going down here. Alright folks, well, I am finally set up in the tree. I took my time. I got distracted, but I was checking all those cameras and the batteries. I think there's something wrong with one of my cameras. Batteries say it's good. I mean, it's brand new batteries, and it's still saying that it's a 1% battery. So I don't know what the story is there, but I'll have to figure that out. And then checked out, along the edges over here. Tons of sign all in the field. I mean, I'm not surprised. But then coming around the point of this little piece behind the barn, there's a bunch of scrapes, and real active scrapes all along there. And and then the trail's coming into here, and this thing is just browsed down in here. You get in, you can see from the field, you can look and you can see kind of a browse line, but then you get in here, and it is just, it's just all browsed down. It's just all tore up. They've been in here real heavy. The tracks in here are real thick. Through here, there's trails cutting in and out everywhere. This, I have found over the last few years, like this spot here seems to be like a central area. I haven't been able to get on them in here yet, but I know they're in here, and I know they're in here during shooting hours because I have the camera. But I found these rubs, so they were literally right next to my camera. So how they didn't catch them, I don't know. But anyway, I moved the camera so that I'd have a different angle, so I still see the deer coming back and forth. But then also I'll be able to pick up, if there's a big old boy rubbing down there, I can pick him up. So yeah, I mean, there's a ton of sign around, and a ton of just everything scrapes, and I found these rubs and just everything. So the bean fields all browsed down. Edges over here are all browsed down on the edges of the woods. So this spot's tough to stand hunt or archery hunt, just because, especially this time of year, it's so thick up in here. I mean, I'm like up in the trees right now, and the wind has not been cooperating. It took me a while to kind of test in the wind from different spots to figure out, like, I think I'll get up in here, and I'm kind of rolling the dice a little bit. And the other problem is that, I mean, God only knows where they're going to come in from. They could come in from anywhere. So really, it's just like, honestly, just find a good tree that has the best vantage point, and then set up in it. But I picked up an uphill side with the sunlight hitting this on this side. I mean, I'm in the shadows right now, but the sunlight is coming this way to this side of this little gully that I'm on. So playing that a little bit, and I'm also playing that the wind is going to pull my scent high down into the bottom over here, kind of over top of them if they were to come up underneath me. I'm hoping I'm high, and I'm also up high enough from where they're coming up underneath that they wouldn't pick my scent up, at least right away. I don't know. This may be one of those spots where you may not actually want to hunt over this, hunt a different spot, but they come in here, and I know they come in here and they're comfortable in here. So they're not bedding in here. It doesn't appear. This looks like a feeding area, and it always has looked like a feeding area. And the pictures I'm getting from in here is they're in here feeding. So they're bumping from one field to here to another field. Because I don't think I've never noticed, other than up on this one ridge line overlooking the river, I've seen them bed up there on camera, and I've found beds up there, and they'll bed in the fields and stuff too, but I think their primary bedding is off property anyways. I've always thought that. Not that there isn't bedding around here that they were using, but as far as like a primary bedroom, it's off property as far as from what I think. So anyway, there's my diatribe. See what happens. It's hot. I'm sweating. Well, that's a wrap. I ain't nothing in the back of that truck. But I didn't get it on video, but I had a buck come in. I'm pretty sure it's one of the ones that I've got on camera. He's tall, kind of spindly, he's just got real small, tines and whatnot, small bases. And I think he's a 5. 3 on one side. One of those 3 is kind of goofy. It's like a little split at the top, and then 2 on the other side. And I don't think he has any brow tines, but he saw me and I saw him at the same time, I guess. I've been sitting down in my saddle, and I went to adjust. I saw movement off to my left, and I look and I see this buck going. I can see the back profile of his antlers, and I'm pretty sure it's that one I have on camera. But I don't know that I would have shot him anyways, but it would have been fun to get a good look at him and get him on camera. That would have been cool. I mean, technically, if he's got 3 on one side, he'd be legal. So I just don't know if I'd shoot him. I was really hoping for some doe to come in, but of course, climbed down out of the tree, get down to the base of the tree, and wrapping up my sticks, and I hear a couple deer go crashing. So they were coming in, but it is pitch black inside them woods. I mean, right now I've got the sun setting in front of me here, and it's past legal shooting light at this point, but it was pretty dark down in his woods. But it's cool. I mean, I saw a deer, found a ton of sign, and the spot I was in wasn't bad. Good backdrop. I mean, I was in there tight. I was in there real tight. I mean, it was the farthest shot I would have had was 15 yards. A lot of it would have been straight down, and then kind of really steep angle going in, because I spaced my sticks out pretty good, and my saddle, or my platform, getting up in the tree. But it's alright. I think Chris and I are going to come up here in 2 weeks from now, hunt that first weekend in November. We shall see. Well, that's a wrap. Thanks for following along. Hit the subscribe button. We'd appreciate it. And stick around because we have a ton more coming. It is still very early in the season.